we're going to go ahead and chop it up and get into a little bit of D line talk. But before we do that, we'd like to remind everybody to go ahead and go to twitch.tv/, Niner Faithful Radio to join us for the live stream of all our shows. That website again is twitch.tv/, Niner Faithful Radio. For the Faithful, by the Faithful pre-launch sale is coming July 30th. Save 20% on all our designs. Go ahead and go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop for more details. Go to seatgiant.com and use the promo code NinerFaithfulRadio, all one word, and save on all your concert, theater, and live sporting event tickets. That website again is seatgiant.com, and the promo code is NinerFaithfulRadio. Get your officially licensed Niner gear at shop49ers.com by using our affiliate link. It costs you no more, and it really, really helps out the show because we make a small commission off of everything you buy. Make sure to go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop and go ahead and click on the link, and the link will also be in the description of this video and podcast. Go to ninerfaithfulradio.com to check out our interviews, blogs, and previous episodes of all our shows. Dylan did an excellent D-line breakdown yesterday. It's available now. Go ahead and go check that out. You can follow us on social media. On Facebook and Instagram is at Niner Faithful Radio. Twitter is Niner Faithful R. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's go ahead and get this show started. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and add the man with the master plan. Jason, you're muted.
But, what is up, everybody?
Okay, there you go. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Living the dream, brother. Just another day.
Jason, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, great. Can you hear me, bro?
I can.
Why is it keep on switching off my Noble? All right. I don't know what's going on here. This is a great way to start off the show. All right, we got you, bro. We got you.
You here?
What's up? What's cracking, Jason? How you doing?
Not bad, man. Just another day. It's ready to get this show going.
Lord Jesus. Can you hear me, bro?
I can.
All right,
I can hear you.
Go ahead, and you know what? Okay, we got you. What's cracking? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
All right, you know what? We're going to go ahead and refresh the page, and we'll go see if that helps.
Well, I guess PJ is going to be right back, but what we are planning on doing is we were going to go over the defensive line and everything today to break it down because I think it's going to be one of the more interesting things because as of right now, according to my list that I have, we have 16 people, or 15. We count. Yeah, there's 16 people, and I only think we're going to keep.
We got you, brother.
I'm here.
All right, let's go. Let's rock and roll like Led Zeppelin. All right, so the Niners have officially announced the date and time of the state of the franchise. It'll be Wednesday, June 30th at 6 p.m. here on the West Coast. It's going to be officially available only through the Niners app. So you got to download the Niners app if you want to watch it. No idea why they did that, but they have said that next year it will be in person, so you'll be able to. Yeah, I have no idea why they did that. Why wouldn't they allow it on YouTube and the website?
YouTube, Twitch, everything. Whatever. All the choices. So everybody's gonna watch it like this.
You know what I think it is. You know what I think, really honestly, what I think it is? I think that not enough people have downloaded the app and they're trying to get more people to download the app. Personally, is what I think.
Yeah, but it's still stupid to limit it.
Is. Yeah, I personally don't understand it. The reason, I've always had Niner Faithful Radio available on everything is I figured as many platforms as you're available on, the better. But, they probably figure that, hey, you know what? We're the Niners. People are going to do whatever we want.
Yeah.
You're going to have stupid people like me that would, if I didn't already have the app downloaded, I would go ahead and download the app just to watch this. And then probably
most people, I think, have had the app for years now. I mean, to be honest, the app is kind of worthless. So unless they want to actually start making it useful, it's kind of a useless app.
You know what frustrates me the most is what the Sharks did, and I'm really hoping that the NFL doesn't start to do it, but probably won't because of the TV contracts and everything. But in order to listen to the Sharks games, on radio, like your boy does, you actually have to download the app. And so I think that that's eventually probably where everything's going to go. Let's be real. It's only a matter of time before everything's only available through the NFL Network and Amazon Prime. Like they have, Thursday Night Football.
You want to hear something really weird? Where you're talking about, it's not going to be on TV anymore, perhaps. And maybe the NFL will go this way. Is that NBA games starting? I think it's next season. A lot of them are going to be aired only on Twitch. So, like you said, with only being able to go to Amazon Prime and NFL.com, maybe maybe they're going to add in the whole Twitch thing as well, or maybe some other streaming service.
Yeah, no, it's cable's going the way of the dodo. I mean, let's be real. Even over here, myself, I don't even really, honestly, truthfully, I don't even really watch TV. And if I do, it's only Hulu and Netflix. Actual cable, nah. Most of the stuff I watch is on YouTube, honestly. And so I don't, I don't have, we have cable, but I don't really watch it. And so I don't watch a lot of TV in general anyway. So, yeah.
If it wasn't for live sports, that's about the only thing keeping me on it.
Yeah, honestly.
And even even that you could get on the internet or on your tab. There's a bunch of places you can go to get it, illegally. I mean, it's just, and it'll look just as good as you do on cable. So I mean, like you said, it's gonna go away. The cable companies are gonna have to switch their stuff at some point.
Yeah, no, it's going the way of the dodo. It's it was funny. I was talking to a friend last night, and she was asking, if Niner Faithful Radio would ever open up, Niner Faithful Radio shop would ever open up a brick and mortar store. And I told her, I said, honestly, by the time I got enough revenue and enough customers and things like that, I said, retail is going to be dead. I said, honestly, I'm a firm believer myself in that shopping. Like we have 4 or 5 malls here in San Jose: Oak Ridge, Eastridge, Valley Fair, Great Mall, and Valco. So we have 5 malls here in San Jose. Honestly, I think all they're going to be is they're just going to be distribution centers, and so you'll either when you go to order something online, you'll either say pick up at local distribution center, or you're just going to get it shipped to your house. Brick and mortar stores. The drive in San Jose is back to normal. I think as a matter of fact, I think it was today we officially opened up.
It was
loosened a lot of our COVID restrictions. They're saying back to normal. I don't think things are ever going to go back to normal.
Nope.
I think that Corona went and changed things forever. But definitely download your Niner, your Niner app. We will be going, whether it's myself, Jason, Jamie, Dylan, somebody will be going live after the State of the Union. Okay, Jason's probably going to do it. I'll probably join in. And we'll go ahead and discuss everything that is discussed at the State of the Union. So make sure you tune it in. I believe last time it was about like 2 hours. We'll discuss all that off air. But
at the very least, I'll probably do I'll do a side cast with it. So I'll do a watch along with it if anybody wants to hop on and watch along. I might not be too down to come on and do like, or stay late, I should say, as far as like an after show on it, just because I got to get up early as hell. But I'll at least, at the very least, do a watch along with it. I'll go live for that and everything.
All right, yeah. We'll discuss it, and we'll
get something going.
Let's be real. We got 15 days left, so we'll figure it out, and we'll go ahead and we'll announce it on the show and make sure everybody knows about that. But the Niners also made some promotions in their personnel department. I will leave all the descriptions for everything everybody's doing in the show notes. You can go ahead and check those out at NinerFaithfulRadio.com. We'll go ahead and have those up for you. I'll go ahead and send it to you, Jamie.
It looks like basically all it was 9
D-line,
people got promoted, and then they replaced two of them with new members. Is all it looks like it did.
Yeah, pretty much everybody got promotions, and I think what we're doing is I think we're preparing for our scouting department, our personnel department. I think we're preparing to get rated. I'm actually honestly surprised we didn't lose more staff and more personnel this year, honestly. And so I think that's what and I'm all for that. We were talking about that yesterday on Faithful Talk as far as DeMeco Ryans. I'm all without promoting in. You don't have to explain somebody the culture of the organization. You don't have to explain how things are done. Everybody already knows. Everybody's already on the same page.
Yep.
Anytime that you can promote within, I think it's always best for the organization. Obviously, it's nice to hire outside people to get new ideas and new perspective, but my preference is always to promote within. With Niner Faithful Radio, anytime we give promotions, we like to promote people that we've already hired. And so, awesome! Congratulations to everybody on their promotions.
Indeed, much congrats.
And then, yep. And then our last little thing before we get into the D-line breakdown here is Bobby Turner has gotten the Pro Football Writers of America Lifetime Achievement Award. He's been coaching since 1975. That's some dedication. That's a long time.
That's more than I've been alive, and I'm older.
Right? I think, O.J. Simpson was still in his prime. When Bobby Turner started coaching, Jim Brown might have even been playing. I mean, and that's saying something. If he started in the NFL when Jim Brown was playing,
I think Frank Gore was still playing.
Oh, well, Frank Gore was there when dinosaurs were playing, bro. Like Frank Gore's been there since the beginning of time. That's already known.
When God said, "Let there be light," Frank Gore hit the switch.
Yep. I love that one. Oh my god.
I should use that for a meme. When God said, "Let there be light," Frank Gore ran the ball.
Frank Gore hit. Yeah. Toted the Rock to go switch the switch. If you can't tell, bro, we're big Frank Gore fans on this show. I mean, Frank Gore is essentially the closest you'll get to God in a running back. Anyway, so getting into the D line, obviously, the main focal point of the D line, it's the said. I think it's a little interesting debate I had with a faithful online one time when I said, who's been considering, all things considered, who's been the best performing position group on the team, and everybody thinks the D line, and I said it's the linebacker. The D line should be the best performing position group on the team, considering all the capital we have invested in the D line. I mean, it's pretty much, taking a D lineman every year except this year, and
Yep.
So it goes without saying. As Nick Bosa goes, the D line goes. Okay, we were all proud of Kerry Hyder last year, and he was a real pleasant surprise. But let's not get it twisted here. Nick Bosa is the alpha dog. Nick Bosa is the one that makes the world go around as far as the Niners D's concerned. I'm very curious to see how much he plays, if at all, in the preseason. Probably not. I wouldn't necessarily play him in the preseason. I'm essentially wrapping Nick Bosa up in bubble wrap until week 1. And I know a lot of people are saying he hasn't really played a lot of NFL football, but last time I checked, he didn't play in the preseason and really didn't do anything in training camp in 2019. And I believe he won Rookie of the Year. And let's be real, if it wasn't for if they would have called offensive holding like they should have in the Super Bowl, Nick Bosa is probably Super Bowl MVP. Um, they held more than Texas in that Super Bowl, and I think they did it because they knew that Nick Bosa was going to be MVP. And like I said on Faithful Talk yesterday, um, why I think Nick Bosa is the best player on the team is that Nick Bosa affects the game before a snap has even been taken. Nick Bosa affects the game Monday through Saturday. Nick Bosa, because I promise you, the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, running back coach, and quarterback coach, the number one first thing that they're saying in team meetings or position meetings is they're circling a fat circle around number 97, and they're saying we need to know where he is at all times. When the quarterback breaks the huddle and he's walking up to the line and he's scanning the defense, the first person that he's looking to see where they're at is number 97. That's very clear. Nick Bosa is, and I know Kim's gonna put in the comments like she always did that I didn't want to draft Nick Bosa. I wanted to draft Quentin Williams. Yeah. We all know that. I was wrong. I will admit that until the end of time. I was wrong about Nick Bosa. But I'm expecting big things from Nick Bosa. Obviously coming off of ACL, but I think if any blessing could be said about Nick Bosa's ACL is that it came week 2. It came early in the season, and most people say it's about a 9-month, full recovery. So that would September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So around July, August would be about when he would be fully healed. Plenty of time for the start of the season. I say Nick Bosa's full go week 1. Jason, your thoughts about Nick Bosa?
Yeah, pretty much. We know he's the alpha dog on the defense. I'd argue with you who's the best player on the defense. I think that goes to Fred, but I think you're just pulling at things at that point over, who's better kind of a thing, but tit for tat kind of a thing. But no, I don't think if he does play in the preseason, I want it to be like one series just to kind of get the cobwebs knocked off, and then we pull him out and put him right back in that bubble wrap and wait till week 1. I just want to see him get out there in the field. I'm sure he wants to get out there and hit. We've all seen the videos of him working out, looking like a beast again this year. But it's easy to just work out, run in circles, lift weights, but you need to get hit. And I think with him, he probably needs to hit somebody until because how many times have you seen all these movies where now everybody goes in, they're feeling good, and then they get hit and they just can't take it, or that all of a sudden you take that big hit and you're like, oh yeah. I was injured. I'm okay. I can play again. It's almost like what Jimmy does like when Jimmy does half the time. Jimmy needs to throw an interception in order to the time for me to play. It's like, well, why didn't you start doing that from the beginning? But just get him in there for one series, just move it a little bit and let him go.
You know what? I'll agree with that. I'll give you that. And I will say this about your comment about Bam Bam. I believe Nick's the most talented player on the defense, but the player that we can't do without is Fred Warner. That's what I tell people. Nick Bosa is the best player on the team. But you're right. You're grasping at straws at that point in time. But the person who can least get, like I told everybody on Faithful Talk yesterday, I said, without Nick Bosa, look, it was clear we were, in hindsight, it was clear we weren't going to win a championship without Nick Bosa. But the problems with the 2029ers were not the defense,
Nope.
even without Nick Bosa. The number one player to me, knock on wood, pray to God, whatever you got to do, the one player that cannot miss any games this year is Fred Warner. That to me, he's the captain of the defense. He's the quarterback of the defense. He can do things that other people can't do. But we'll get in more into Bam Bam and gush about him when we break down our linebackers. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Ugh.
You know,
Excuse me.
and I think Jimmy himself talked about when he came off of his ACL is that yeah, you could do all the workouts, you can go through all the practice you need to do, but until you take that first hit on your knee, or you fall on
Yep.
that knee and you realize that okay, I'm okay, it's of course
Yeah.
going to affect you mentally. Of course you're going to walk around gingerly and everything like that. And so whatever it gets Nick Bosa ready for week 1, I'm ready for that. To me, I can't wait. If I'm the guy who plans, the players coming out the tunnel, that we usually at home we usually do the defense first. The defense comes out and we
Hmm.
announce the starting defense. To me, I'm putting Nick Bosa last because
Yeah.
if I'm there opening week, I promise you, I will not have a voice after Nick Bosa runs out of that tunnel. And I'm pretty sure every faithful will feel like that who's ever lucky enough to be there Sunday night against the
And
Wackers
it's
on
not even
September
about who your
26th.
favorite player is or that. You're happy to
Yeah,
see him back. You know.
yes, it to me. There's two players that to me that I got chills when they were mentioned. It was when Reuben Foster got hurt his first game, and the crowd got a Reuben Foster chant going. And then when Nick went down against the Vikings, and
Oof.
literally, I would not be surprised if every single person in that stadium just started chanting Bosa. But I literally got
They
chills,
did.
and he talked about it. He said
They
yeah,
did.
no, they did. I was screaming the loudest probably, and literally Bosa talked about how it gave him chills. I had never seen a player besides
Pop
Jared
up like that.
make a crowd so electric and just the craziness that happened when he hopped up and he ran back on the field the next play, because you have to take a play off if they stop the game. And he ran back on the field and everybody's just started going crazy and Nick Bosa
Well,
is that
the
dude.
way he was laying there, you thought he was dead or something because he
Yeah.
didn't move.
Oh, it was
And then all of a sudden,
look,
it's like the power of everybody just kind of rose him from the dead. And he got up. He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm gonna
it
take my day
was.
off." It was a good.
Yeah, no,
It was good to see.
it was definitely good to see it. You know what? Honestly, it was one of the coolest moments of 2019, and it
Oh, it was.
really,
It was an
I
awesome
think that
moment.
Levi Stadium gets a lot of crap. It was Levi Stadium gets a lot of crap, and I don't think it's not as dead as people made it seem to be. It wasn't as empty as people made it seem to be. I think you have
Yeah.
a certain writer and Killigan that loves to tweet pictures out an hour and a half before game time. We'll show those same pictures at kickoff. But anyway,
Yeah.
2019 was when Levi started to feel like a home, and we started to have memories, and you started to be able to talk about, I was there when this happened, I was there when that
Yeah.
happened, and that was probably one of the highlights of those moments. Um, moving on to uh, Eric Armstead. Now, to me, if you could talk about a player that I think missed Nick Bosa the most, was Eric Armstead. Because let's be real, Eric Armstead, when it comes to pass rushing, is not a freaking D end. He's a D tackle. He's just an amazing D end as a run stopper. But ideally, you want Eric Armstead playing inside, and he played D end out of necessity.
Hmm.
Eric Armstead is not a D end, and I think that I almost feel bad with in retrospective, I feel bad for Eric Armstead because I believe he's one of the most underrated D linemen. And when you actually watch him play, he's damn good at his job. He's damn good at what he's asked to do, which is be a run stopper on base downs, and then go ahead and get out after the quarterback on the passing situations. Eric Armstead is not going to consistently be a 10 sack guy. But I don't need Eric Armstead to be a 10 sack guy. I
That's
just
what
need
Bosa's
him
for.
to yeah, exactly. That's what Nick Bosa's for. I need him to force quarterbacks into Nick Bosa's arms. That's Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw's job. Your job is to make sure that they can't step up and avoid, that edge pressure when you got, whether it's D Ford or Sampson and Nick Bosa screaming off the edges. Your job is to make sure that they don't have that pressure or the ability to step up. We need you to keep them outside so that Nick Bosa and D Ford or Samson Ebukam or whoever it happens to be can eat. And that's Eric Armstead's job, and he does it damn well. And I wish the faithful would give Eric Armstead more credit. And I almost wish he was drafted in 2014, and so that he wouldn't have came up in a contract situation the same year that DeForest Buckner came. Is because I believe that he'll always be tied of, oh, we chose Eric Armstead over DeForest Buckner, and it was a mistake. No. Yeah. I think that and obviously we'll break this down more as we get in, before week 7. But Eric Armstead was willing to work with the cap number with the Niners. Defoe wasn't. And so Eric Armstead was, the Niners didn't want to keep Eric Armstead over Defoe. Let's be real. Nobody in their right mind would have if you have the ability to keep DeForest Buckner or Eric Armstead, would choose Eric Armstead. It was a cap situation. That's strictly what it was. Eric Armstead was chosen because of the cap number. He took in 2020. It was a business decision.
Yeah, plain simple.
Exactly.
Buckner wanted more money because he knew his worth, and he wasn't going to get it. With what the cap was for the Niners, and Eric was willing it. So it makes simple. You take a drop in talent, a foot or two kind of thing, but if you can make it work, knowing that you also have rookies that need to get paid soon, you got to do what you got to do to keep the overall team good.
Yeah.
It's not Madden where you can just put everybody in your team.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't realize that. You just can't grab every single free agent that pops up. So.
Exactly. And it's like what Kyle Shanahan said when he discussed the reason that the Niners didn't trade for Julio. Hey, guess what? You can't think about 2020. You can't just think about 2021. You got to think about 2023, 2024, 2025, and beyond.
Yep.
We have to think about this future. If you don't want to, this organization is built on competing for championships year in and year out. This is not 1980 when Eddie D can just, sign blank checks for Carmen Policy and I almost said Sean McVay. Why did I forget his name right now? His grandfather. Anyway. I can't think of his name right now. I have no idea why I can't. But McVay's grandfather and Bill Walsh can just go sign whatever players they want. This ain't the 80s when Eddie D, basically Eddie D handed everybody blank checks. This is the salary cap era. And I know that, Eric Davis on the Believe in 49ers podcast loves to talk about how, you can keep whoever you want. That's true. You can keep whoever you want. If you want somebody bad enough, you'll find the cap room. But at the cost of keeping Nick Bosa, nah. At the cost of keeping Bam Bam, nah. At the cost of keeping George Kittle, nah. At the cost of keeping Trent Williams, no. And so these are just simply the decisions we have to make. So back to moving on to who I'm actually the most excited and the player that I think is going to take the biggest jump on the team this year, and that's Javon Kinlaw. We all seen the workout videos. We all seen him, when they arrived to OTAs. We saw him with the squirrel in his mouth. Jason and I have talked about it many, many times. But he's a big boy, and he's going to move people. And the thing that makes me most excited about Javon Kinlaw this year is your rookie year. Let's be real. Javon Kinlaw has always been bigger, stronger than everybody. And that's what he's relied on most of his career. Hey, I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. And you're not going to be able to stop me once I make my decision. When I put my effort into it, there's nothing you can do to stop me. And then you're a rookie and you hit the NFL and you come up against, centers and guards that are, 10, 15 years older than you and been lifting weights since you were in diapers. and you realize you're not the strongest and the biggest anymore. And so you realize that you have to become a technician in the NFL. And what I'm excited about the most is you can see it. You don't get that big and that, you don't get bigger and stronger by not working hard. And, D'Amico Ryans, when asked, the player that he was most excited about, he talked about another player that we're going to get into, but he mentioned Javon Kinlaw. And he talked about how
He
he's
did.
seen, a lot of progress in him in his second year, going into his first full offseason. Let's be real, Javon Kinlaw wasn't working on pass rush moves. Javon Kinlaw wasn't working on pass rush,
Straight bull.
rush moves last offseason. He didn't even have a freaking OTAs. They didn't even have a real training camp. And so now that he's had the ability to say, hey, this is what it's going to take for me to make it in the NFL, this is what it's going to take for me to make it through an NFL season. And now that he knows that knowledge, knows what he needs to work on, he's worked on it. And they always say that the biggest jump a player makes in his career is from year 1 to year 2.
Excuse me.
And so, to me, I won't say all pro. I think that's a little bit too high of an expectation for him in his second year. But yeah, I'd be slightly disappointed if Javon Kinlaw ain't at least. I don't think he'll make the Pro Bowl this year because it usually takes a year, for the league to catch up. But I expect the faithful to be talking about how Javon Kinlaw is a Pro Bowl snub. Well, let's put it this way. I hope that we don't even mention the Pro Bowl this year because we're kind of playing in the game the week after. That's my hope, obviously. But I expect the faithful to be talking about how Javon Kinlaw is a Pro Bowl snub this year. Jason, your thoughts on Javon, the Law Dog, as I like to call him?
He's probably eating a squirrel right now. But like you said, most of his life being bigger and faster, basically all he had to do was just bull rush. And you could tell, especially during the first couple of games,
Yeah.
when you saw a lot of flack from a lot of people that were giving him shit because he wasn't playing great. I'm like, give the man time. He barely had any time in training camp. Like I said, we knew he was going to be a slight project because of just the way he played. He just bull rushed everybody because he was bigger, faster than everybody, and that's what he could do. And so he had to kind of learn at least one move to give somebody. Because like you said, he might still be the strongest person at his position in the NFL. The problem is those guys that have played for 10, 15 years, they know how to move you in a way that, even though you're stronger than them, they're next thing you know, you're 10 yards down the field and the play's going the other way. But like I said, for the same people who I know quite a few people that I caught him, they were, oh, Kinlaw is the greatest thing. I was like, wait a minute, week 1, week 2, 3, 4, you were trashing him, saying he was the worst draft pick. He wasn't worth it. And now all of a sudden, when I told you guys to give him a little bit of time, to adapt, and you saw every week he got better and better and better. And damn near the end of the year, he was being maybe not all pro, but he was playing at an elite level damn near towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and I think that let's be real. The faithful have been spoiled with DeForest Buckner. The faithful have been spoiled with Nick Bosa. The faithful have been spoiled with Fred Warner. Rookies don't come in and dominate in the NFL. They
For the
just
most part,
don't.
no.
That's what makes Nick Bosa special. That's what made Fred Warner special as a rookie. Rookies don't just come in and do what Nick Bosa and DeForest Buckner and all these players do. I'm actually going to read you some interesting stats right here, and I think this is going to get to your point the most. I'm going to say this. So hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Oh man. Okay. So it's loading. It's loading. It's loading. Let me go. Here we go. Here we go. See all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. So 73 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 pass defense, 4 stuffs. You know whose stats I just read you right there? DeForest Buckner, his rookie year. Would you like to hear DeForest Buckner Would you like to hear DeForest Buckner his second year? 61 total tackles, 45 solo, assists with 16, and 3 sacks with 1 forced fumble and 5 pass defense. So I think that everybody who thinks Depot came in and was a 10 sack a year player, he actually
No.
regressed as far as sacks total his second year. Now, Javon had 1.5 sacks last year, and hold on, I'll pull up his sack total right now, or his tackle total right now, and 15 tackles. So what I'm trying to prove in that point right there, what I'm trying to prove is, I think everybody remembers the 2019 Defoe, that had the 10 sacks and all those plays and everything, and didn't realize that in the beginning of Defoe's career, we were talking about all he was getting was pressure. He was just getting pressures, no sacks, no sacks, no sacks, no sacks, no sacks. And then it was once we got Nick Bosa and once we got, Dee Ford and all these players that took the pressure off of Defoe, that's when you saw Defoe be able to shine. And I think that's what's going to happen with Javon. Is when
give him time.
Because let's be, this team is built to come in at you in ways. What made the 2019 Niners so special wasn't our starters. I mean, our starters were elite, all that. But what made the Niners D-line special was the depth. Was that after dealing with Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, Dee Ford, and Defoe, then you had Sheldon Day coming in. You had DJ Jones coming in. You had, you had Kevin Givens.
The assault never stopped.
Yeah,
it was just the whole defensive line was just relentless.
Relentless, and I think that was what was missing last year. And obviously Nick Bosa, but that's what was missing. Is it just wasn't wave after wave after wave after wave, where you don't get a breath as a tackle, as a guard, as a center. You don't get a breath. And I think that the benefit of what you saw in 2014 is you saw that these offensive linemen were getting wearing out. They're getting worn out because, and then all of a sudden it's the fourth quarter, it's 2 minutes left. You've been having to deal with this relentlessness. And all of a sudden Nick Bosa and Dee Ford are fresh. Maybe while you've played 65 snaps going into the fourth quarter, they may have only played 20. And now all of a sudden now it's all of a sudden it's the fourth quarter. And Dee Ford and Nick Bosa and all the, well, Nick Bosa obviously played most of the snaps, but and all of a sudden we're fresh and you're tired. I'll take a fresh Dee Ford, Nick Bosa, whoever, versus a tired tackle, guard, whatever, all day, every day. I'll take that twice on Sundays. I'm putting my life savings on that bet. And I think that's what you're going to see this year with the D line. And look, as the D line goes, is how the team goes. Will it be 2019? No. It won't be 2019. We need to accept that. It's just not. 2019 was one of the best. This is our 75th season of 49er football, and 2019 was probably the greatest D-line we had next to the gold rush of the 70s. And any D-line with Charles Haley on it. But you don't see D-lines like that special. And so I'm expecting big things from Javon. And I'm not saying 10 sacks. That's not Javon's job. Javon's job is, hey, you're going to take the focus off of Eric Armstead. They're going to be worried about doubling you. They're worrying about double teaming Javon, because he's going to take a double team. Once he gets that technique down, once he admitted that he needed to get into better shape, and he looks in amazing shape. So once
I don't know how much better you can get.
That double team, that's going to leave Eric Armstead on one-on-one. I'm sorry, I'll take Eric Armstead on a one-on-one in a guard all day, every day.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so moving on to another player that I thought, look, to me, is another dog, is another strong man, but unfortunately, we haven't seen it. So he's fighting for him. He's fighting for his NFL career, and that's Kentavious Street. Kentavious Street, he's one of the players that you want to get off the bus first. The man, what was it, like 700 pounds he squatted? or something ridiculous like that. I mean, the
Yeah, it
man
was a lot.
is a tank, and I think that coming off the torn ACL in the year, you know, yeah, it was more than I'll probably be able to squat in my entire life. Probably I wouldn't probably be able to squat a quarter of what Kentavious Street can squat. I mean, let's be real. He's Yeah, okay, it was a 700-pound squat. Okay, yeah, I just read it over on Niners.com. It was 700 pounds. And let's be real, he's probably gotten stronger since he's been in the NFL, so he probably could do a good 750, 800, I would think. If he, as a max
Probably
rep,
getting close.
yeah, he probably can get up to a good 700 pounds. Um, to me, I'm excited about Contavious Street because he's fighting for his NFL job. He's fighting for his NFL career. And to me, that's going to be the best out of Contavious Street. And fine,
Yeah.
if it's not good enough to make the roster, hey, we'll tip our caps to you. Thank you for the memory, sir. Thank you for the effort.
See you next time.
We'll talk about what he was like as a draft pick later, but you know, I'm excited about Contavious Street. Jason, your thoughts about Contavious?
I like the talent behind it. I don't know because I know it's kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but a lot of what my prediction for this defensive line is what do we do with Dee Ford? And to me,
Yeah.
push comes to shove, I say we move on from Street. And I know that's an unpopular opinion probably, but there's a couple other guys we'll probably get to. I mean, he's got the talent definitely. Don't get me wrong. I mean, is he possibly fighting for his NFL career? Maybe, but I think with some of the other people that we have, should he get cut, he's going to get picked up by somebody else. I just don't know where he fits in this.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just like I said, there was everybody else that's here with the free agents that we've signed. I almost don't see him making the team.
I could see that. Look, he's definitely on the roster bubble. I would put his chances best at 50-50.
Yeah.
I'm expecting somebody like a Kevin Givens to come in and take his job, honestly, I believe Kevin Givens is going to take his job.
I don't think Givens makes the team.
But, I'm not going to give up all hope. He definitely has the talent. He was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he has shown glimmers of being, a good player in the NFL. I won't take away that from him at all. But it's just like we were talking about with the 2019 team. There's so much depth on this defensive line right now. It's like we're just like with before School got hurt, we're going to be cutting people that are going to make other rosters without a doubt.
Yes.
So
especially off the D line,
the
D line. Yeah,
more than any other position group.
I note on Justice. Yeah.
Yeah, he made it through waivers. He's on the IR now.
Of anybody who's even a D line. Yeah. I was just gonna mention that we didn't add that into the pre-show notes, but yeah, Justin School did clear waivers and reverts to our IR, where he'll probably spend the remainder of this season.
Not like that was a surprise. Yeah, pretty much everybody knew that was going to happen with School.
No. Yeah, I didn't. We all saw the jokes about when is he going to be a sheepcock, and the DJ Reed jokes and everything like that. But I don't think Justin School is going to get picked up by anybody.
No, not with that injury.
Yeah, I agree to you. And you know what? You mentioned it. And let's go ahead and get into him. Dee Ford. Now, I love Dee Ford. It's my birthday twin. Power to us, March 19th, babies. And what let's be real. Dee Ford turned us into a great D-line into a legendary D-line. We all saw how when Dee Ford got hurt, we all saw in 2019, we all saw how the pass rush, was missing.
Yeah, the difference between him when it was off and on the field.
Dee Ford just elevates the D line to another level. I mean, it's just it's insane. He will apparently he will be ready for training camp. Knock on
Yep.
wood. We heard that last year. Um, I would ease him in. I'm not banking on D Ford. D Ford's that nice surprise. When you come home and your friend leaves you, a nice already pre-rolled blunt, and you're like, oh, or you find that $20, you go to clean out your pockets before you do some laundry, and you find a nice $20 bill. You're like, oh, I totally forgot about this. That's how I'm looking at D Ford this year. It'd be nice to find that $20 bill in our pocket, but you're not expecting that,
Yeah.
and it's sad. I would love D Ford on this team. I would love D Ford to come out and have a Pro Bowl year and win NFL Comeback Player of the Year and all that. But we've said it time and time again on the show. Backs do not get better, they get worse. You can go with whatever back specialist you want. You can go to whatever surgeon. You can try everything that you want. Plasma. I know they were injecting him with plasma, and that was for his knees, but knees and backs and necks don't get better with age; they get worse. And this is
Yeah.
a back. He's had back issues since he was at Auburn and everything like that. And so, Godspeed. I'm excited to see him. I'd love to look. If you wanna come to Niner training camp and watch some straight football porn, watch D Ford and Nick Bosa go against Trent Williams. I mean, that's straight football porn right there.
That's straight
You
alpha
know,
male versus
so
alpha male right there.
yeah, that's if you don't like that, then you might as well not come to training camp because that's what training camp's about.
Yeah.
That's what going to training camp and watching camp is about. That and autographs. Um, which I've never really been. I've always given my most of my autographs away. I've never really been too stressed about autographs. Like, come on, brother, these ain't. It's not like we're
Goddamn.
talking about Gary, Ronnie, you know, Steve, players like that. I like to give my autographs to little kids. But yeah, love to have D Ford. So Jason, to wrap up D Ford, and we're gonna go a little bit longer here today, over our hour. But to wrap up D Ford, chances he makes if guns famous show saying, gun to your head, is D Ford on the active roster suited up for week 1?
Don't know. But here's the thing.
Don't know.
We also still here's the thing. So whether or not he's completely healthy is because with this year we have the same rules again with the IR.
Yeah.
So what if he's not completely ready to go week 1? Stash him on IR for 6 weeks. Let him rest up a little bit more. Then we have him towards the end of the season. Which is why, like I was saying when we were talking about like Street and Givens and stuff like that. Depending on if we go with 6 or 10 guys on the defensive line, all depends on whether or not Ford's going. If Ford's ready to go week 1, like 100% that he's good, I don't think we would need to keep Street or Givens kind of a situation because that position is going straight to Ford. So it's hard to say right now, but he is definitely a luxury. But say he is ready to go.
Yeah.
Did we not bring in Sampson to pretty much do the exact same type of role for the most part? So, I mean, and with his guaranteed money that's coming up for next week, sign like a 3-year contract, I think is what it was. Is D Ford trade bait for somebody?
2-year.
Is it 2 years? Okay, so do we trade away that contract? Or do you want to put, a defensive line to where you could possibly put Armstead on the inside and then you could, at times, and then you could rotate Bosa, D Ford, and Sampson on, every couple of plays. That's a good problem to have. I mean, like I said, there's talent everywhere.
Yeah, no, I don't believe anybody's going to trade for D Ford's contract. I mean, maybe. Okay, fine.
Well, it's restructured, so it's a lot better now than it was.
A 5th-round pick for D Ford right now, I think. Yeah. True. Look, if somebody called John Lynch right now and said, I have a 5th-round pick for D Ford. D Ford's on the next flight out of Santa Clara County.
Depending on where.
Straight up. Pretty much almost, I would say yeah. Okay, obviously you're not trading him within the division, and ideally you'd like to trade him to the AFC, back to the AFC. But yeah, I agree with you. You know what? I like your idea. So I will say I don't believe D Ford is ready week one, but I do believe that he is a
He's on the
candidate
team.
for our IR stash. Yeah, he's on the team. I believe he makes the roster. He's going to make the roster. His cap hit if he's cut simply pretty much guarantees that. But I see D Ford being an IR stash for 6 weeks. I love that. He you get him ready during the bye week, and then all
Yep.
of a sudden you say, hey, now that both, and we talked about it when we did our schedule breakdown, that 12 weeks of straight football. Well, now
Yeah.
that's 12 weeks of straight football for D Ford, but that's only 12 weeks of football for D Ford. And especially if Samson starts to wear down, Bosa starts to wear down, and everything like that. Now you got
Just
a fresh
rotate
D
them on
Ford
IR.
who hasn't, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I don't know if it's
Well, speaking
possible,
of
but
Samson,
why not?
um, speaking of Samson, let's go ahead and get into him. This to me, I believe, besides Zach Kerr, I believe this is going to be a sneaky signing by the Niners. I don't believe he's going to come in and he's not going to lead the team in sacks or whatever like that. Nothing like that. But I think he's going to be one of those sneaky signings that at the end of the year that maybe your casual fan won't know, but people like us who cover the team, you're going to say, hey, who do you believe is one of your biggest surprises on the D line? I think it's going to be Samson. I
Yeah.
think that he was brought in as D Ford Insurance. And to me, the best thing about it is he was a twofer. You stole him away from the Yams and added
Right?
him to your roster. Fifth year player, um, 4.5 sacks on the career. But let's be real, he wasn't asked to be a big sack guy in LA. He was. Let's be the alpha dog of LA is Aaron Donald. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he wasn't. And Grady Little was their best linebacker. I believe he was mispositioned as a linebacker in LA, and slash, I believe he was
Yeah.
miscast. I do believe that he is a straight DN. He's a speed DN. He's an outside backer in a 3-4 scheme, and he's a DN in
Yeah.
a
Three.
4-4.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I believe that our system is a better fit for him, and I believe that he's going to be playing in position instead of out of position. And look, he might only have 5, 6, 7 sacks this year, but you know what? That's all I need from you. That's all I need from you, Samson. I just need you to give me 5 sacks, even 4 sacks and a couple forced fumbles. I'm good. I'm okay with that. If he can give that until D Ford's ready for week 6 in our scenario we talked about, that's all I need from you, baby. Just if all he is just insurance until D Ford gets ready, and then you see him, and then yet again you talk about waves. So now all of a sudden, now you got a Samson coming after you. You got a fresh D Ford coming after you. You got a Nick Bosa coming after you.
Yep.
You got an Eric Armstead that now maybe can play full time inside if Samson can play base downs on the end, and you can move Eric Armstead into where honestly he should be playing, full time.
Yeah.
I love that. To me, as far as depth is concerned, besides 2019, I would
We
put
are
this
good.
up to, yeah, I put this up against anybody except maybe when you had the Smith brothers, and the soap in the middle with Ian Williams and all them. So this is
Yeah.
probably the best D line that we've had besides 2019 since 2014 2015. This D line is going to be stacked, and it's not going to be 2019, but I do believe Sac Francisco is going to be back.
Yeah.
Jason, your thoughts about Samson?
Yeah, like you said, I think originally, with the D Ford injury, it wasn't looking good, especially, let's say like end of last year. It looked like, we had heard some really bad things about how bad his back really was. And I don't know if he's had another
Mm-hmm.
surgery. I don't remember off the top of my head that has like maybe finally fixed everything. But with his, and we couldn't get rid of him obviously because with how the numbers work with drafting or
His cap
cutting
hit.
him. Sorry. Yeah, it just wasn't worth it. So you might as well leave him there. And maybe the unthinkable helps or comes true, and he's ready to go. And listening to everybody, and from what I've seen people report, he's ready to go, damn near. Whether or not, like you said, whether or not we want to use him to go. So Samson was brought in to play definitely that same exact type of role. They're real similar with their skill sets and how they play. I think so. The Thursday night game that they had against the Chiefs, where he actually scored two touchdowns, one off an interception that he batted down, and then I think the other one was off a fumble recovery. So he has that ability to where like you said, he may not have a whole bunch of sacks, but he is a disruptor in the backfield. He blows things up where all of a sudden it's like, now what am I doing? Because I've got this guy in my face, and Wilson and whoever is now running for their life because they've got this 250-pound man chasing them in the background. And so, that's where he is. I think maybe possibly long term, especially with how the cap is coming, he might be, we can drop Dee Ford next year. Maybe he's the long-term replacement for him. I've watched quite a few Rams games with him, and he's always near the ball or causing the ball to go the other direction. So, like I said, it's Dee Ford's health with this.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was a 2-year prove-it deal. And I think that if he can come in and he can outperform his contract and everything like that, I think the Niners he might be in line for an extension here pretty quickly. And that's what it is. It's nobody on the Niners besides Nick Bosa is meant to be a big sack. Let's be real. Nick Bosa is going to lead the team in sacks. It's going to happen.
More likely.
So his job is to basically chase the quarterback right into either Javon Kinlaw, Eric Armstead, or Nick Bosa, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Moving on into, to me, one of the unsung heroes of the D line, and everybody talks about the interior of the offensive line and the fourth down play and all that. But to me, one of those sneaky reasons that we lost the Super Bowl in 2019 was because this man was missing, and that's Mr. DJ Jones, whose father has actually hit us up before and thanked us for doing the show and giving his son props. Mr. Jones, no problem. We love your son over here in the Bay Area. We hope he's a Niner forever. Although he is, let's be real, this is probably DJ's last year with the Red and Gold, since he is only on a 1-year contract, but we'll see it. DJ to me is he's the lunch pail, hard hat and lunch pail man. I remember in an interview last year, he said, "Hey, look, every bag's an ice bag game for me." And to me, he's kind of like a guard almost, where if you talk to players on the team, if you talk to quarterbacks, they'll praise their guards. They'll praise their O linemen. Nose tackle isn't a sexy position. Nose tackle is your lunch pail, your hard hat. You're not gonna see your name in the highlight reel or anything like that. But for those of us who were unfortunate to watch 2016 Niner football and watch teams just run straight up the gut for 200, 300 rushing yards a game, realize how important a D tackle, a nose tackle is. And let's not forget, DJ's got some sneaky pass rush skills. He sacked Russell Wilson. Let's not forget that.
He chased him down.
So I think that DJ's got some sneaky athleticism. And he's short area fast. So he's not going to, sprint 100 meters, but he might get you in the 10-yard, in the 10-yard shuttle. He's not going to burn you in the 40-yard dash, but he might get you in that 10-yard shuttle. And so to me, this is another year, a 1-year contract year. We all saw the year Eric Armstead put up in a contract year. And now I don't believe that DJ Jones will have double-digit sacks like Eric Armstead, but I'm expecting big things for DJ Jones. And he's not gonna, you're not gonna see many number 93 jerseys. in the stands or anything like that. But us real faithful, we appreciate DJ and everything that he does for the Niners. Love his worth ethic. I've never heard any type of slacking on DJ Jones's part. Man comes in and busts his ass, does his job. That's it. And if you talk to Coach K, our D line coach, he swears by DJ Jones. Jason, your thoughts on DJ?
I think he's going to be one of the better defensive linemen. Like you said, you don't see him that much. His name doesn't pop up and this and that, but he's gonna be there and he's gonna be solid. Do you think he's gonna start? Who starts besides Kinlaw in the middle? Do you make it DJ?
I make it DJ. I make it. I make it. You know what? No, I make it DJ. I make it DJ to start the year. I make it. I make it DJ to start the year. But that the player that we're going to get into here next is going to have a big impact. I believe he's going to be in a heavy rotation with Zach Kerr. I believe that if you want the best DJ Jones, he doesn't need to be in there every snap. You want a fresh DJ Jones. You want a healthy DJ Jones. Knock on wood. So I see him in a heavy rotation. But yeah, your snap one, week one D line is Javon Kinlaw and DJ Jones in the middle with Eric Armstead and Nick Bosa on the edge. I believe that's when you see the Niners trot out for first down in Detroit.
I had a hard time when I was trying to figure out who. I had a hard time trying to figure out who was going to start, whether it was going to be DJ or if it was going to be Zach. I kept going back and forth, and I was like, it's going to come down to one hell of a camp battle, I think. Because like I said, I'm looking at both guys.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to start over the other. I mean, obviously it's going to be Kinlaw to start inside, obviously. But it's like, I couldn't distinguish. It's like it's basically a flip of the coin on who you want to start. But yeah, that was a tough one. I couldn't make a decision. And I know your line, gun to the head, who are you going to choose? And I'm like, just shoot me because I think you're going to be fine with either one starting. Because like I said, most of these guys are going to play. The starters are not going to be playing more than like maybe somebody will hit like 35, 40 snaps, but I don't think anybody's going to be above that.
No. Probably your D-line snap leader for a game probably going to be Eric Armstead, I would think. Because he's because he
can go inside out. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is going to be a heavy rotation year, which I believe that look, let's be real, the Niners want to keep the D-line as healthy as possible because their hope, let's be real, their hope is that we can create 2019. I think what you saw in 2019 is what the Niners want and is
every
the formula.
Year.
And let's be real, the reason that we have that John Lynch is our GM is because him and Kyle Shanahan believed in building a football team the same way. You build it with your D line. Look, you can't tell me, Mr. John Lynch, Hall of Fame safety, John Lynch, great player, Hall of Fame safety, but you can't tell me he doesn't know the value of having a D line when he had Simeon Rice and Warren Sapp on his D line.
It helps.
And Derek Brooks.
It helps a little bit.
So
yeah.
John Lynch always joked that he knew that, hey, 3 Mississippi is a lot easier than 5 Mississippi. And, when you have Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice, you get a lot of 3 Mississippis, maybe even a Missa. That's all you get with Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice. But, so I think that John, let's be real. Our strength of our defense is not our secondary. We've been okay with not investing in the secondary until this year. We did spend, the 3rd and 5th round picks on the secondary, but let's be real. We figured, hey, look, we can be okay in the secondary as long as we're elite on the D line. And we'll give up a play or two. We'll give up a play or two. We'll give up a deep ball. We'll give up some catches. That's fine. But we're going to believe, hey, guess what? You want to drop back 35 times a game. We love that because our D line is going to get more home more times than not, and that's basically the Niners' plan. Is look, you could drop back 40 times, and you might complete a couple bombs and a 75-yard touchdown. But if you drop back 75 times or 35 times a game against our D line, you're going to get your quarterback killed. Okay, let's be real.
75 times.
You better have a damn good backup. 75 times. I meant 35 times. Look, 75 times, you're definitely getting your quarterback killed. I
what
don't
kind
care
of
who
game
your
are we
D
playing?
line is. You drop back a quarterback 75 times. If their arm doesn't, yeah, if
The
your
final in the ninth
your
overtime.
arm's not falling off, if your quarterback arm doesn't fall off, then he's going to get killed by any D line.
Yeah.
If you're dropping back your quarterback 75
Hey,
times,
man.
okay.
This ain't hockey where
But
there's a 6 overtimes in the
getting on to
playoffs.
Zach Kerr, right. But getting on to Zach Kerr, I believe that this is the Kerry Hyder, and it's funny because he wears number 92. I think that this is the Kerry Hyder signing of last year. Not as far as lead the team in sacks, but the player that you point to at the end of the year and you say, "Thank God for Zach Kerr." I think that the Niners being able to pick up Zach Kerr on a 1-year deal, I think is amazing, and I love it. He's not going to get us tons of sacks, but he's going to be that run stuffer. And so to answer your question on who do I think is going to start, DJ or Zach Kerr, I think it's going to depend on whether it's a run down or pass down. I could see obviously Eric Armstead kicks inside. I could even see packages in the beginning of the year where you have Zach Kerr and Javon Kinlaw on rundowns, and then you kick Aaron Armstead, and then you have DJ Jones come in on inside for passing situations because DJ does have probably the most best potential as a pass rusher right now. The second, I would probably give it to DJ without seeing Javon in his second year. But yeah, Zach Kerr to me is going to be the unsung hero. He's going to be the Daniel Brunskill of the D line, where you're just like, thank God we have Zach Kerr. Jason, your thoughts on Zach Kerr?
Like you said, I think he's an underrated player for these signings in the offseason. The man just doesn't let much get past him. He's just a big, was he 6'2", 330, something like that? Hey, 6'2", 340. I mean, that is a big dude. So, I mean, he's just going to stuff the run. I mean, good luck running up the middle on like him and Kinlaw, even more so than DJ Jones.
Yeah.
I think DJ Jones is going to be the better pass rusher, obviously. But I think as far as it comes to like stuffing the run, not the rum, Kerr is going to be the better person. And how many times last year did we watch games where running backs were just going straight between the guards right up the middle? And now that I'm thinking about it, to me, that almost makes me more liable to make him the starter because he's going to be the better run stopper over DJ. Maybe we just get DJ in there on passing down. So, I mean, that didn't hit me till right now. But, yeah, like I said, I got tired of seeing people just run straight. Like, who was it? The Eagles that just ran like 6 plays in a row, right up the yard, right up the middle for like 7, 8 yards every play. And we're like, hello, can you guys want to stop it? Yeah, so it's just like, I think he's just going to be, between him and Kinlaw, I don't want to run up the middle. I'd be terrified of those two sitting there, just plugging it up.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, he's definitely a great pickup.
Yeah. I think the only back in the NFL, and even though he's not signed on the team right now, that probably would be difficult for those two to take down is number 21. That to me is just the only, because you can't take down 21. I mean, but,
Derrick Henry.
and I think
that'll be a fight on that week between those 3 guys in the middle.
I was just gonna say,
man,
I was just gonna say, and this is, to me, I think that Zach Kerr is gonna make his contract coming off of that short week. Coming off that short, coming out into the short week.
Rams into the Titans.
I think that's going to be a big Zach Kerr, Javon Kinlaw game. I would see Javon. I would put if I was you, I would put money down on Zach Kerr being the Bam Bam defensive MVP of that week, especially if it comes in a Niner dub. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would definitely say that our biggest shot of winning that game is Zach Kerr goes on, and he'll make his money in that game alone. I would think. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, love it, love it. To me, going on to the another player that D'Amico Ryans had mentioned in his press conference on a player he expects big things from. Matter of fact, I believe he was the first player he mentioned, and that's Kevin Givens. Now, I have to preference this by saying those who follow us on social media already know my thoughts on Kevin Givens, not the player. I have issues with certain things about him, but whatever. We'll leave that until last year. But to me, Kevin Givens is a beast. I think Kevin Givens is going to be another player I'm expecting to take a big step. His criminal case from the offseason was dismissed without
Hmm.
files charged. And as far as I've heard, the NFL is probably doesn't look like the NFL will take any action against him as far as a suspension or anything of that nature. So Kevin Givens is a full go. And to me, I say Kevin Givens is, he's not going to be a starter. He's not going to make a Pro Bowl, but he's going to be that role player that you're happy to have. He's going to be that player that what I bet you there's probably a good majority of the teams in the NFL would love to have a Kevin Givens on his team. And as Jason and I have been talking about this whole show, waves and waves and waves. Kevin Givens is part of that wave. Kevin Givens is that,
Yep.
hey, he might not win every rep. He might have a low, but you know what? He's going to give you one hell of a battle. He's going to wear you out. And then all of a sudden, come the fourth quarter, when Javon Kinlaw and DJ Jones are coming at you, you're going to be tired because you've been battling Kevin Givens. Jason, your thoughts about KG?
Yeah, like I said, I think he's towards the end of the rotation when it comes to the defensive
Yeah.
linemen. But I think if you're losing anything, you're not losing a whole lot. You're talking about maybe a step, half step kind of a thing. um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I said, I think especially now because it was up until what 2 weeks ago when it was said that his case was dismissed. um, we didn't know what was going, which is why we probably signed Maurice Hurst, Arden Key, all these other guys as well, because we just had to. We didn't have any insurance for Givens, but it almost to an extent makes, especially Hurst, makes them an expendable body to an extent because if Kevin Givens is full go, I expect him to be back. Like I said, tail end of the rotation, but he's still going to be definitely a big part of that rotation, and he's going to be just as relentless, with his motor as the top guys are.
And I want to make sure we give Kevin Givens his props. We all talk about the pick that Javon Kinlaw had against the Yams last year and everything like that. What nobody talks about is the reason that Jared Goff threw that pass is because he had Kevin Givens in his face.
Yeah.
And I think that's the Javon Kinlaw will get the name in his highlight, the highlight
Yeah.
reel, and he's the sexy player and all that. But without Kevin Givens, that play doesn't happen. And honestly, we probably don't win that game. Let's be real. We probably don't win that Yams game without Kevin Givens making that play.
Yeah.
And so whatever issues I have with Kevin Givens is not his play. If anything, it's I want him on the field. We need him on the field. So definitely I put it at 100%. It's Kevin Givens' roster spot is his to lose. If everything goes to plan, Kevin Givens is going to be on the roster. We're going to go ahead and get pretty close to wrapping it up. But Arden Key, Mo Hurst, was surprised that Mo Hurst was available. I think that's going to be a sneaky good signing.
Like I said, I don't think he makes it.
Arden Key. Look, if our top tier, our projected starters are available, you're right. Arden Key and Mo Hurst don't make the roster. But if D Ford isn't ready, maybe knock on wood, some injuries happen, something like that. We're gonna be happy that it's gonna be to me. It's like it's gonna be that almost like when we signed Jefferson. You know,
Hmm.
when you're like, why did we sign Jefferson? All of a sudden, you find out, Travarius Moore, which the Jefferson signing happened before Travarius Moore tore his ruptured his ACL, but still, you're gonna be like, oh, huh.
It's like they
Just
knew.
kind of like how we're like, oh, I didn't. Yeah, it's like, you know what I think? I think they had a feeling that something might be happening. I think they knew something might be
He's been
happening,
on the radar to be
you
signed
know,
for quite
thought
some
that maybe
time. So
they had planned to reduce. Yeah, I think they were waiting for something to happen. It's kind of like how we're like, oh, why did we draft two running backs? Oh, Jeff Wilson tore his
yeah, Wilson.
MCL. Good thing we drafted two running backs. Why did we sign Arden Key and Mo Hurst? Oh, wait, D Ford isn't going to be ready for training camp, and maybe Sampson ain't exactly what we thought he was going to be. Oh, wow, good thing we
Yeah.
signed Arden Key and Mo Hurst. But wrapping it up here pretty quick, Deshaun Hall, I don't see him making the
No.
roster. Maybe practice squad. Alex Barnett, I know that the Niners like him. I think maybe probably practice squad. Now, Darian Daniels, that's an interesting name because when Matt Mayoko did his initial 53-man roster breakdown, he had Darren Daniels making the team. And he says quietly, Daniels is a player that the Niners really, really like. And ideally, maybe they'd like to sneak on the practice squad one more year. Kind of give them a little bit of maybe Dak Kerr is obviously on a 1-year deal, so maybe you bring him in to replace Dak Kerr next year, type of
Yeah.
thing. But Darian Daniels, not a guaranteed roster spot, but somebody I would definitely keep my eye in. So before we get out of here, Jason, final thoughts on the D line.
You also forgot about Jordan Willis. He's still under contract.
Jordan Willis, yes, that is the one I forgot.
So, do you think we're keeping 9 or 10?
I think we keep 10.
Okay, give me
I
your
think
10.
we're going to keep 10 because
Do 5 and
so Nick
5.
Bosa,
Do defensive ends. Bosa
okay,
and Armstead
defensive
for
end.
sure.
See, okay, Bosa, Armstead before for sure.
Okay.
Sampson.
Sampson, yep.
Let me see. You see, the Niners actually, it's funny. The only one that's listed outside of tackle, the only tackle listed is Javon Kinlaw. Nobody is listed on a DN as a DN on the Niners roster. I
Yeah,
think
it's weird. It's weird how it's listed.
Yeah,
so you got D
and so
Ford.
you're like, wait,
so let's
who
say
is
D
the
Ford's
DN?
ready.
D Ford.
So who's your fifth?
I'm gonna say Mo Hurst makes it. I'm gonna say Mo Hurst. I'm gonna say that Mo Hurst makes it because I think he's gonna have a good
As a
game.
D end?
Tackles, you got
As a,
Javon
wait,
Kinlaw.
you got Hurst as a defensive end? He plays inside.
Oh, wait, yeah. It's a DN. My bad.
So
My
you
bad,
want
my
Key
bad.
from the Raiders?
Let me see.
You're
I'm
talking
trying
about
to think.
Key.
Jordan Willis. Okay.
Okay. Straight up, that's who
Yeah.
I have for mine too.
Yeah.
I think I think that's
Yeah.
my 5 as well. Okay, so
Yeah.
inside we
And
got
then
Kinlaw,
DJ, Zach Kerr,
DJ,
Kinlaw, Gibbons, and I think that I'm gonna believe in Matt Mayoko, and I'm gonna say Daniels makes it. I'm gonna say Daniels makes it. Okay, who are your 5 and 5?
I had exactly the same, except I had Hurst over Daniels.
Yeah, you had Hurst over Daniels.
I had Hurst over Daniels.
Okay, I could see that. Especially if they feel that they could get Daniels into the practice squad again for another
That
year.
also means that they're only going to run 3 tight ends, though. When I was looking at it, that's 3 tight ends. Cause
yeah.
I don't think we don't need to go deeper than 3 tight ends.
No, because there's nobody on this roster that, because I mean we'll get into it more when we get into the tight
Yeah,
ends.
I was saying overall, yeah.
Yeah, Kittle and Ross Boss are making the roster. Fine. You want to say
Okay, then Warner or
Josh
Pruitt.
Peterson? Yeah, and then
Warner or Pruitt for your third.
Yeah, Yeah, I would put it Pruitt. I'd
Yeah,
put
so
Pruitt.
would I.
Just because you have your veteran, and I mean, something tells me you could sneak Charlie Warner on the practice squad, and then any other tight end. I mean, let's be real. If you're down to your fifth, sixth tight end, I mean,
Yeah. Well,
I
like
think the
I like
season's
the
gone
idea
to
of
the
keeping
shitter
10.
personally.
It's just that you have to pull from someplace else. Do
Yeah,
we pull from
yeah.
running backs?
I
We're
personally
not going
think
to pull from running backs. Not going to pull from the offensive line.
I personally think that I personally see where we pull from if we indeed do go for tight ends. I see us taking two quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's
That's
definitely an
that's where
option.
I see.
Yeah.
I say and whoever's the third quarterback, because let's be real, if we're on our third quarterback, the season's in the toilet.
Yeah, we're
We're
fucking right
basically
up.
playing out the string. Yeah, we're playing out the string. So really, I believe
Who would
whoever
be
the
the
third
emergency
quarterback,
quarterback at this point? Who would it be?
I believe straight up it's going to be whoever we think we can get on the practice squad. So I believe it's going to be chosen Rosen. Now I know
Yeah,
Sheffield
probably.
has
Yeah.
I know that he has the guaranteed money, and that will tell you a little something. But personally, I think that's a Rich Gangarello signing. That's hey,
Yeah.
I've worked with him, I want him, and everything like that. But honestly, I think Josh Rosen is going to be our emergency quarterback because if we're on our third string quarterback, admitting that the season's probably in the toilet, but to me, if the season's in the toilet, I would want Rosen. I would want to say, hey, look, let's roll with Rosen, see if we got something, you know. And the season's in the toilet anyway. Let's roll Rosen. Let's roll Rosen out there and say, hey, look, you got your final shot, kid. Go save our season.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, nobody's expecting it. And if he does, hey, look, cool. You just gave us a little bit of trade bait, and made yourself a little bit of maybe another and you made yourself maybe a little bit of a competition for a starting job somewhere next year.
Yeah. I wasn't sure where you were going to be. Like if we kept the 10, like if we kept 10, and like what would you pull from to get that extra man on the roster?
I would pull for the quarterback. That's honestly what I would do. I don't think we should keep three quarterbacks. For what? Fine if you wanted to keep. Let's be real. The Niners kept three quarterbacks because they didn't want to cut C.J. Beathard to Nick Mullins. Which, by the way, congratulations, Nick. He did sign with the Eagles. We forgot to mention that at the top as well. But signed with the Eagles. You know what? You will always be Nick the Raider Killer Mullins to me. You won the final battle of the Bay, baby. You'll forever be in my heart for that. You will always be the Nick. One of my coolest moments of ever going to training camp was when I got Nick Mullins' autograph, and I said, "Hey, how about screw BDN? How about Nick the Raider Killer Mullins?" And he smiled and goes, "Well, like that," because you could tell he didn't want to say it, but I was like, everybody was like, "The Raider Killer, baby, the Raider Killer." Nick the Raider Killer Mullins, baby.
He definitely has a piece of his page and lore for that game.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we all knew Nick Mullins was who we thought we was to steal the famous Denny Green line. Nick Mullins was who we thought we was. But, two things will always be made. He was third in the NFL in passing yards for the first, I forget however many starts it was. But he got mentioned in the conversation with Peyton Manning and Patrick Mahomes. And B, also, look, Nick Mullins will be one of those quarterbacks that when we tell our grandkids about the final battle of the Bay, we'll Nick Mullins hero that came in on Thursday night, conquered the final battle of the Bay. It won't be the pick against the Eagles that cost us the game.
No.
It won't be the pick against the Cry Girls that cost us the game. Nobody will. That will forever be forgotten. Nick Mullins will get his rightful place in Niner history.
He's got his page.
I think that'll about do it for us today. Jason, before we get out of here, tell the people how they can subscribe to us on Twitch.
So if you have a Twitch account, you can do it one of two ways. You can either pay for it and use your hard-earned money for it, and thank you if you do. But an easier way, most of you probably already have Amazon Prime. Part of your subscription to Prime there's an offshoot called Prime Gaming. And with Prime Gaming, you get one free sub to any channel. Obviously, we would like you to use yours on ours. You just have to hook up your Amazon Prime to your Twitch account, and it's in the drop-down menu. It'll ask you how you want to pay for it, and it'll say use your Amazon Prime account. So go ahead and use that Amazon Prime on us if you could, please. But we do take cash if you wish to do it that way.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, always. Look, honestly, I was telling many people, I know some people think all we do is hop on a laptop and talk Niner football for an hour to 2 hours a week. Y'all don't see the hours and hours and hours Jason and I and Jamie and Kim and everybody spend trying to get this the best podcast y'all do. Um, you don't see the pre-show meeting where we had to totally scrap this thing that Jason's been working hard on, spending hours on, and everything like that. We really do work
This
hard
show
for
was
y'all.
completely
And we're not
different
gonna
2 hours ago.
This show was completely different 2 hours ago. Trust me. Um, and your boy's gonna be spending most majority of the week trying to figure some stuff out. So please, we really do appreciate that. And if you find it in your heart to even do the prime, that we really definitely
Yeah,
appreciate that.
it doesn't. The amount doesn't
We'd
change. It's
also
the
like to
same
remind
amount. It's just free.
exactly. So we also like to remind everybody, speaking of Twitch, to go to twitch.tv/Niner Faithful Radio to join us for the live streams of all our shows. Also, to remind everybody, For the Faithful, By the Faithful pre-launch sale is coming July 30th. Save 20% off of all our designs. Go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop for more details. With everything opening back up and us moving on from the craziness of last year, we would like to remind everybody to go to SeatGiant.com, use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio, all one word, to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets. It really does help out the show. Get all your officially licensed gear from shop49ers.com using our affiliate link. It doesn't cost you any more money, and it really is another way you can help out the show, and it really does help out. Go to Niner Faithful Radio to check out all our interviews, blogs, and previous episodes of all our shows. You can also follow us on social media on Instagram and Facebook at Niner Faithful Radio and on Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Jason, go ahead and run our ads and do your raid thing, and then we'll get up out of here.
Yeah, you gotta log me in real quick, man. With all the hoopla that happened before this, we kind of skipped the. You guys, all right? Yeah, we kind of skipped that step with trying to do everything last second.
Yeah, we were trying to scramble, y'all. We apologize. Literally, like Jason and I said, we pretty much it got to be probably about 10 minutes where we're like, look, bro, we're gonna have to scrap this and we'll figure it out later. We
were trying something new that we had figured out works, and the audio part just didn't work, and so we had to scrap it. But we'll try it again next week because it looked damn good.
It did. We're gonna add some new background graphics and stuff like that, but we're definitely, trust me, y'all gonna like everything y'all see.
We'll give it a shot next week. We'll make it up.
Yeah, we'll make it up to y'all, promise.
You're gonna raid Grant Cohn again?
And actually, you know what? Tune in because I got a special surprise for everybody. You know what? We might just do that. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll run a 3-minute ad here real quick, and then we'll go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and add it. So we're gonna do the ad right now. We got the ad. I did 3 minutes. So. I'll be right back. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody. Thank you for that. We're gonna go ahead and start the raid.
Raid.
Start raid. All right. I just chose some random Niner fans, so hopefully
That works.
hopefully they'll follow us. And the first time I did it, the dude followed us. So.
Oh, did he really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Raid now. So once the raid now goes away, we're good, right?
Yeah, you can go and shut off the stream.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. For Super Duper Moderator Kim, Jamie, Jason, Jimmy, Nate, Dylan, and myself, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Niner Faithful Radio. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. here on the West Coast for prime time with Mr. Nice Guy, Faith, Love, and Happiness. Go Niners. Hold on, if I can find the freaking video.
Steps up, throws.
See ya!